Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to listen up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
Phil and Ryan, listen up, not Rise. So, Ryan, like I always tell you, I miss you and hurry back quick. I'm going to do everything in my power to bring Ryan back with us on Wednesday. But for now, we're going over the game recap. And it was a very happy one. Anytime it's over 100 points, I feel like that a lot of people has been wondering where we have been. Well, this is an extended time of no UConn Huskies women's basketball, right? But they finally hit the court tonight again. It was against DePaul, the DePaul Blue Demons, as they are now 12-17. Huskies moved to 24-5 on the old season, almost over regular season at Wintrust Arena. Final score today 104-67. We appreciate everybody. Turn your notifications on, subscribe to the channel, like the video, especially now, to let us know that you all are still rolling with us as we are approaching March. I can't believe it. All right, Ryan and everybody else, here we go. So Aaliayh Edwards, wanted to shout out to her, does such an incredible job with these, I was going to say game recasts, but with the actual updates during the game. I saw a tweet that went out that was posted on X during the game. And boy, it shouldn't only make me smile. Hopefully, everybody out there overheard a little girl on the concourse during halftime. Mom, she has a Bueckers jersey. I want a Bueckers jersey for my birthday. And mom says, "Are you glad we came?" And the daughter goes, "This is the best night of my life." Well, I tell you, so that goes to show Paige Bueckers the impact that she has again on and off the court. Let's get into the game recap and let's see who else had a big impact in this big victory tonight over DePaul. This was actually the first time I think Paige Bueckers, they mentioned that she was actually the last time she played at DePaul, they were in the bubble. So she finally was playing in front of a real crowd this time and not just cardboard cutouts. Some really good plays in the first quarter. Edwards had a nice steal to begin the game. Nico was being aggressive like she has all season, going to the basket. KK Arnold was also aggressive, but picked up her second foul pretty quickly in the first quarter. Again, I'm so excited to not only KK, but all the freshmen. I cannot wait to see how they develop down the stretch, not only this year, but in years to come. But especially, I got my eye on KK. She is just, to us, a special player all the way around. And I want to shout out to her mom and dad if they're watching this and say hello to them. We hope that you all are doing well. When Caden Samuels gets the ball, especially in tonight's game, she shoots it. And that's the mindset for sure heading into March Madness. When you have no one face guarding you, you're supposed to shoot the ball, get the confidence, and I think that's something that's very not overlooked right now. But Caden Samuels is starting to gain that confidence, and I know that's making a lot of people. It's making me smile. So Ryan, hopefully you're wearing a smile on your face right now, like they say in what was the movie? I don't know whatever movie. At one point in the first, the Huskies made 7 straight field goals. So again, it's good to see the Huskies going on these runs here before we get into actually the March tournament. We still can't forget the Big East tournament coming up, right? Credit to Paul tonight for playing hard, coming out in this game, trying to get some steals, playing one-on-one defensively. They were really giving it their all. But Shade had a big 3 to end the first, 27-17, and made it UConn at the end of one. Second quarter rolled around. It did not start out so nice for the Huskies as the Blue Demons went on a 5-0 run. But UConn did a good job stealing that momentum like they usually always do. And with 2 straight hoops of their own. And from there on, it pretty much went up. It was pretty much ball game. Aaliayh Peoples did not have her first bucket for DePaul until the second quarter. So Huskies did a good job shutting her down defensively when the game started. Don't look now, everybody, but since there is more important business next month, Bueckers is working her way up on the all-time scoring list, they mentioned. So don't look now. I get it. UConn are probably, of course, going to clap for her and congratulate her on that accomplishment. But the way this program is ran, I'm sure Gina would agree, there's a lot more to take care of. 47-29 lead at one point, Huskies in the second. The Huskies really opened the game up as DePaul was pump faking a lot as they had the ball, I noticed. And UConn was just swarming around the ball tonight defensively. The Blue Demons needed to get the ball out of their hands a lot faster. I'm sure that was the head coach's message to them tonight during all them timeouts that he was taking early. They needed to pass faster. They needed to shoot faster, more quickly, but they were just not able to do it. Paige was getting a lot of playing time tonight and very efficient. I think that's very important to take notice of as we come down the stretch. Paige Bueckers, the way she's scoring now, and we're going to take a look at the box score in just a second and get into comments. It was 53-29 UConn after 20 minutes of play. And of course, that was halftime. Third and fourth quarters, they went up from there. But to get into the box score and some more trending tweets on X, it's really you take a look at. I wanted to point out it seems like every player nowadays for UConn, every player is taking matters into their own hands. I was talking about KK getting more confident, or Aaliayh Edwards, of course, doing what she does. Had what, the double at halftime? Not even the second half, right? So it's looking like that this group is starting once they it's like almost catch and shoot. And I'm starting to like what I'm seeing a lot, the confidence level, right? The confidence level build up as we approach the end of February. And I think for, again, Amari DeBerry came in some tonight. Aaliayh Edwards, 23 points. Paige Bueckers with 30. Again, of course, you have Nika Mule with 10. Ashlyn Shade scored 13. And KK Arnold with 12. So you have a lot of players now that are starting to step up, not just one. It's not a one-dimensional game so much like it is some nights. But I think it's very important, and I think it's important to take into consideration what could happen. Ryan and I talked about it, possibly Sweet 16 appearance. I would go as far as saying, if this continues, I would go as far as saying an Elite Eight appearance. I really would. After that, I don't know. But let's go ahead and get down into some comments, and then we will head on out of here. No more on X for now, but let's go over to our subscribers. They deserve it. We have been going for a while. Jason D'Amico, errant passes. Ryan, I appreciate you too. This is from the video that Ryan handled by himself. Errant passes, missed layups, unnecessary fouls, not hitting wide open mid-range shots, and missing open players underneath. These things need to be cleaned up quickly. Almost 25 gimme points for you missed for UConn. This game should have been a blowout, and Gino was correct. Paige needed to start moving more without the ball. Thankfully, she made the adjustment in the second half. However, in UConn's defense, their starters are playing a ridiculous amount of minutes. There were a couple of times Gino should have subbed in a Ness or Q for Paige to give her a breather, but did not. That needs to change as well. Thanks for the recap, Rye. Peace. Yeah, Jason. I just mentioned Paige Bueckers is very efficient tonight, and now that has me thinking. Yeah, I mean, if she has to be forced to stay in the game, of course, that's if she stays out of foul trouble. Forced to stay in the game and just ask for that perfection out of her, like we always do. We take it for granted. I assume some of us. I'm guilty of it sometimes, but yeah, man, I think that it's just you need more maybe a balance heading into that March tournament. Let's go over to a couple more. Let's go over to James. It says, to win the national championship, bottom line is hitting shots and rebounding. People coming in next year, bar injuries again, still UConn helps. Yet, in my opinion, UConn needs better athletes. I kind of agree with that. I also would say that they need help, like we've been saying all year long, all season long. Going back to the transfer portal last offseason, they need Aaliayh Edwards needs help. And obviously, I think this will be her final year at UConn, unfortunately. But man, if they could have landed another player out of that transfer portal, I don't know, it's too late now to talk about it, but we all, sit back and think, what could have been. I mean, this could have been, they're already a scary team. We get that, but just think how much more scarier it could have been for their opponents. We'll go over one more for the night. Jeanette Adams says the Huskies' second half calmness, and confidence. There's a word I use. Thank you, Jeanette. Confidence is a great attribute going forward. Next, batter up attitude will bode well going forward. Great update, guys. Yeah, I think that's just a matter of, boy, when you take into consideration what they have, the players they have lost due to injury this season, and we know that teams go through it all across the country, injuries. But man, when you talk about just this specific team, like we focus on the UConn women, man, I mean, where do you really get that confidence? How do you draw that up inside of your stomach? Like, where does that come from? Out of your heart? Where does that come from? Because man, what they've been through this season, I don't know if I don't know if I could have a lot of confidence with what they've had to go through and face this season. So man, just to see the bright light shining at the end of the tunnel in March, no matter what, I mean, as far as wins, don't take, I'm here to say, and I get it, this program is ran high, the highest in the nation. Just don't take one win for granted, especially in March, real, I mean, seriously. And we'll go over one more. This is one of our regulars. She actually left a big comment here. So we'll just go over the first part of it. Lindsay Matthews. Thank you, Lindsay, for coming through. Thank you, Ryan. Well, and Violet, losing Aubrey is hurting this team. It's hurting me too. Yeah. Well, yeah, she was like a kind of like a Aaliayh Edwards, right down there with Aaliayh Edwards, and the ability for Aubrey to shoot the three ball and mid range shots, along with driving inside, where Aaliayh Edwards usually is in the forward position. Yeah, they're missing Aubrey Griffin a whole lot right now. Lindsay Matthews says, "Thank you, Ryan, for your reporting. I haven't seen the game yet, and this is the first time I've heard your report before the game. What you reported doesn't spoil my excitement about watching it later. It makes me more interesting to look for the trends you described. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you." Well, yeah, instead of actually, Lindsay Matthews, instead of commenting, analyzing your comment there, I would just actually leave this off and say, Ryan, yes, thank you. And we will see everyone Wednesday night for the Villanova UConn game recap. 7 o'clock right here on Listen Up.